Learn what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. Bitcoin 101, your ultimate guide to the fundamentals of blockchain.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Today it is Monday, November 28th, and it's roughly 10:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today I just really wanted to go over some happenings in the broader crypto space and let you guys know what the news is. Essentially, this morning, the biggest thing to come out in the news is BlockFi filing for bankruptcy in the aftermath of the FTX fallout. There is a article on the New York Times, which is essentially just states that BlockFi had been reeling since the spring when the collapse of several influential crypto firms pushed the market into panic, sending the value of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin plunging. And in June, FTX agreed to provide the company with a $400 million credit line, which BlockFi's chief executive, Zach Prince, said would provide, quote, access to capital that further bolsters our balance sheet. And that deal also gave FTX the option to buy BlockFi. So in the aftermath, I mean, we don't have to get into like the whole article or, even the semantics of it all. The fact of the matter is that over the last few weeks, we've been learning just how big of an effect this whole FTX thing had on the market and just how many companies were involved and not just people, consumers, and investors. So I think it's really interesting and really sad at the same time to see all of these things happen and to know just how many people have been and may continue to be affected by this now and in the future. And more on that, I know the Turkish government recently came out and said that they were going to be seizing assets associated with FTX and doing an investigation into Sam Bankman-Fried themselves, according to their laws and their regulations there in the Turkish government. So interesting to see what's happening. But what I really wanted to get into today was actually something that's been trending on crypto Twitter over the weekend, which involved a bunch of Ethereum bulls, namely Anthony Sassano, and some of his buddies who got on and stated that basically Wrapped Ethereum would be insolvent. A couple hours later, they redacted a little while later, they redacted those statements and essentially just said that it was an inside joke and it was meant to be funny and not to be taken literally. And kind of started gaslighting everybody that was pretty upset by those comments and statements that were made. And I'm laughing about it now, but it's really not that funny at all. It's actually pretty serious, right? And regardless of whether or not there's any truth to the statements that were made or whether or not it's a joke, a lot of people actually followed up with those statements and was trying to essentially prove legitimacy to the statements that like Anthony Sassano had originally made, which was that Wrapped Ethereum would be insolvent and that Wrapped Ethereum is depegging. A lot of people responded with those comments, simply stating that the depegging of Wrapped Ethereum to Ethereum was essentially a non-issue, and then others were providing proof that it's essentially happening, showing pictures of, diagrams and yada 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 that it's actually depegging. And then, of course, you had some crypto Twitter users posting pictures or snapshots of their wallets showing 1 ETH and then 0.09 wrapped Ethereum and kind of raising the alarm a little bit further. So whether or not there's any validity to the statements of whether or not wrapped Ethereum is depegging or not, I think the market sentiments now, being that we are in a bear market and there's been a lot of recent rug pulls and the market is still reeling weeks later from the FTX collapse, I think it was in bad taste on Anthony Sassano's and his buddies' part to come out and make these inflammatory remarks and then to just simply say it was meant to be an inside joke, as if everybody should know how you're thinking and or how he's thinking rather, and that they should know if they follow him that all of it was meant to be a joke. Bad taste, my guy, and hashtag too soon, right? And then further adding flames to an already huge fire, the dumpster fire, really, with the FTX fallout and everything else. There's a lot of concerns lately with ETH validators from the beacon chain on Ethereum. Let me wind that back a little bit. September 15th, Ethereum changed their consensus mechanism from proof of work to proof of stake. And there were Ethereum validators on the beacon chain leading the charge, staking 32 Ethereum. And they were gaining rewards and yada, yada, this, that, and the other thing, right? So those validators actually have some significant concerns lately about when they'll be able to access those funds and those rewards pending the next Ethereum upgrade known as Shanghai. It was supposed that it would be about 6 to 12 months after the merge that the validators on the beacon chain would be able to have access to those funds, as the Ethereum Foundation had simply stated that they were going to be adding a mechanism within the upgrade that allowed those validators to access those funds and those rewards. So originally, the validators had no reason to be suspicious of these things. But some users pointed out that as of last week, the Ethereum Foundation on the EF website took down the 6 to 12 month time frame on the next upgrade, which being that it took forever for the Ethereum community to actually get Ethereum 2.0, we know that sometimes they push back the deadlines for future upgrades. And it seems to be, based off of what's been discovered, that they will be pushing out the Shanghai upgrade even further than 12 months, potentially. So this, of course, has Ethereum validators on the beacon chain wondering when they will be able to access their funds, if it will be longer than 12 months, if it will be shorter, and not only the time frame on when they'll have access to those funds and those rewards, but also whether or not the mechanism that will release those funds will actually be included in the next upgrade. Now, Ethereum founders have essentially just stated there's really no reason for people to worry whether or not the mechanism will or will not be added to the next upgrade, because they don't see a reason why it wouldn't be added to the next upgrade. So interesting to see what's happening in the markets today. That's going to wrap it up for today, though. Please let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on the fallout of the FTX exchange and what it's done to BlockFi filing bankruptcy this morning. If you think it was in poor taste for people like Anthony Sassano to come out and make inflammatory remarks in a joking manner, and what your thoughts are on the validators and when you think they'll be able to get have access to those funds. But with that being said, guys, that is going to wrap it up for us today. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Learn what Bitcoin is, how it works, and why it matters. Bitcoin 101, your ultimate guide to the fundamentals of blockchain.
Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below. Share this video with a friend, and also follow us on Twitter at BritneyBits.